Here's why learning another technique is not going to help you with those resistant clients. So maybe you have experienced a client who just wouldn't go into hypnosis. One word answers, very, the wall is up. You can feel it. The guard is up. And you're having trouble actually having the clients to really dig internal and answer the difficult questions that you're asking them. And maybe you've tried a lot of the techniques. Maybe you've tried anchoring, dissociation, swish, regression, visualization, inner child, reframing, having the transformational reporting, the command cell therapy method, all of those things you've tried, and still the results are like, and you might believe or think that you just got to learn more techniques, right? Maybe the belief coding will work. Maybe brain spotting will work. But what are these in total? Again, I'm not saying that these are wrong, or obviously they work at some extent, but those techniques only work with some people, not all people, because we're, as humans, we're dynamic and we're all different, right? We know that. So it's not that the techniques are wrong per se, but techniques definitely have a lot of limitation. So if you've like, maybe you have 10 to 15 tools in your toolkit and you're still going, well, I have a few clients where it's just not working. Learning another technique, maybe you learn 5 new techniques, that still may or may not work with your client, right? There's still a possibility that your client's brain is not going to work with whatever it is that you give them. Dissociation technique never worked for me. Anchoring never worked for me. EFT barely worked for me. I know. So, and there was a reason for that, right? There was a reason for it not working. It's not how I personally needed to shift at that moment in time. And it's just not how my brain works. It's the same for our other clients who are resistant. So giving them another technique, like maybe you've learned the emotional freedom technique or the TFT technique, and you're doing something different, that is not going to guarantee that it's going to work for that client, because we're not going to know what works for our client until we sit our ass in front of the client and actually listen. And so that's why inside our ACH program, it's just about listening to the client. Excuse me. And attuning to whatever that client needs at that present moment, instead of learning all of the techniques that may or may not work. We're all about listening to a client. Based on that, the client's unconscious mind will tell us exactly how they need to transform at that moment in time, and we're going to utilize that to guide the transformation, instead of the other way around. Like, I have these 20 techniques now and I've got to memorize it and make sure that everything is there, the cue cards are there. That's not really being present with the client, right? Now we're distracted and thinking about something else, instead of just eye contact with the client, listen, see, observe, pay attention to the client, because they will tell us exactly what they need. And maybe they need a little dash of regression, a little dash of visualization, a little dash of metaphorical work. Again, we won't know that until we sit our ass with our clients. And so I hope this got you thinking, and really the fastest way that we can fix this is to learn something like principles. So my advanced conversational hypnosis students come to the program because they are over learning the techniques, right? They want to be able to just help their clients on the fly, on the spot, want the connection with the client, want the deeper results. And we accomplish that through having the very intuitive, guided, but very specific, but also very specific hypnotic interview that talks about unconscious moments within our session, so that all we're doing within our sessions is just paying attention to the client in front of us. We don't need a script. We don't need a list of techniques. When the client presents us information that makes us go, oh, wow, our clients need to process these emotions, and then we use the emotional trance method within within the ACH trainings to help them process those decades worth of emotions. Or if our client starts talking in metaphors, we will use those metaphors, but it really is context dependent and what that client needs at that present moment in time, not 10 steps ahead, not 5 million steps beforehand, what the client needs at that present moment, which we all know is what we have, right? We cannot live in the past. We cannot predict the future. We live in the present moment. And that is why ACH sessions or ACH sessions are so powerful, because it's all about being present with a client, which allows them to have the result immediately and also stand the test of time, because it's focused on how that particular client works, not because we're fitting them into the dissociation technique that they even have trouble seeing the movie thing in front of them. Wow, it was really hard for me. So I can only imagine some clients also having difficulty with that. So I hope this helped to make you think. Any questions at all, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you soon. Let's make a massive impact together, one conversation at a time.